Alright, how's it going tonight? My name is Matt King. I am a junior at University of Kentucky studying mechanical engineering, and been working with a really great team this weekend, and we got something called Solico introduced to you. It's an iPhone case that's a little bit more functional and adds a little bit of personality. So in general, when you start thinking about iPhone cases, a lot of them are really boring. There's all kinds of them out there. And here's a few examples up here. Like the one right here is an OtterBox Defender. It's a really expensive case, like 50 bucks, and it really serves as just protection. Really bulky. And then you have another one here. This is an $80 case. It has a solar panel with a battery built in, so you can try to get a little bit of extra life built on your iPhone. In general, iPhones don't have the greatest battery life. But once again, it's kind of bulky, ugly, and it's pretty expensive. In the same way down here, this is another one that has a battery built in the back. It's kind of obnoxious because you can't really plug any other devices in the bottom of it because it covers up the female connector on the bottom. So one thing I'm noticing is like they're kind of boring and not really a good way for people to have a lot of functionality in one case. You have to have like several different cases and kind of expressionless. So when you start looking at people absolutely love Apple's products. For instance, like very first iPhone 4S, it sold 4 million in the first 3 days. And since it released in 2007, they've sold a little over 100 million. So there's a lot of iPhones out there. And in general, most people like to put a case on them because they do tend to break because of the glass surfaces and stuff if you drop them. So a lot of people have some sort of case on there, whether it's thin, whatever, something. And people usually also have a personality, at least I would hope so. Anything from what they wear to the gadgets they use, all tells a little bit about themselves. The colors and all that. So it talks a little bit about people. So what we created is a Solico case. And this is for the iPhone 4 and the 4S. And you're probably looking at it and it's just like, well, you just made a case longer and you put a hole in the back of it. It doesn't look really that much. But that hole can be pretty significant. So what you can do is have a completely customizable back on the back of your iPhone case. And what you do is you like just pulls it apart, and then you have that little space there where you can always change things in and out. And we also designed it where the female connector isn't covered up on like some cases that bulky and you'll see why here in a second. And then also, it did cover up the speaker and microphone holes. We kind of doubled some spot out for that, so you can still talk and hear music or whatever you need. So this is kind of what we're thinking. It's an interchange. See that little back spot there? We'll be able to have different components. Initially, I come in with the idea of being able to put a solar panel on the back that can charge your phone, but making it look nice, not so bulky and all that, so you put it straight in the back. And then we got to thinking, why don't we try to put other stuff in the same spot? We actually got a working prototype with this. I mean, we got really crappy photo cells off eBay, so it doesn't like do great. But we actually did. And, if the weather was a little better, we could probably test it out for you. And so the solar, and just thinking, well, usually circuitry, you can probably also plug a battery into that if you do it right. And then you can, and say you only either use one of those, you can customize it. So it's like you let your case either energize you with solar, power you with the battery, and reflect you. It's a case that can do all kinds of things. It's functional all in one instead of having several different cases. So like we like to think of a Solico case as an investment. It's not an expense because instead of having to buy a bunch of different cases, you can buy one and be able to change it out and really personalize it for yourself. It's like your iPhone is a part of your life, and your case shouldn't be any different. Don't be afraid to stick your case.